Well, people, I wasn't quite sure if I was going to watch this one, but it just jumped on Now TV. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. And this week it does seem like there's a few horror films. So I thought, let's make it a little horror centric, right? So I checked out M3GAN. You know what I mean? This is the new film from Gerard Johnstone. It is written by Akela Cooper. Story was from Cooper and James Wan. The film is then produced by Jason Blum, right? Luke Sharp and James Wan. Executive produced by Allison Williams, Ryan Turek, uh, Judson Scott, Mark David Kuchar, Adam Hendricks, Greg Gilreath, Michael Clear. It is co-produced by Jennifer Shudder Trent and line produced by Jill Soper. Anthony Willis handled the music. Peter McCaffrey was on cinematography. Jeff McEvie edited the piece. Sarah Duma Lindo, Miranda Rivers, and Terry Taylor were on casting duties. Production design is Kim Sinclair. Art direction is Ben Milsom. Set decoration, Vanessa Cole and Sean Keenan. Costumes were Daniel Crudden. Our cast. Well, Gemma is played by Allison Williams. Cady, her niece. Yeah, I think that's because Cady is Gemma's sister's kid. So I believe that is a niece. I can never figure this shit out, but I think Cady is the niece. She's played by Violet McGraw. Gemma's boss is David, played by Ronnie Chung. His assistant is Kurt, who is played by Stephen Garneau-Monten. Gemma's workmates are Tess, played by Jen Van Eeps, and Cole, played by Brian Jordan Alvarez. M3GAN itself, right, is the physical, some of the physical components are done by Amie Donald. So the dancing, the running, all of that kind of stuff. And the voice of M3GAN is Jenna Davis. Okay, so we've got Gemma's neighbor, Celia, who's played by Laurie Dungy. There's Lydia, played by Amy Usherwood. Brandon, the kid menacing Cady, played by Jack Cassidy. There's Greg, played by Michael Saxent. Officer Carter, played by Samson Chan Boone. Ava, played by Kira Josephine. Holly, played by Rennie Lyons. Nicole, played by Chelsea Florence. Ryan is played by Arlo Green. Shelley is played by Natasha Daniel. And the police detective is played by Milan Bard. Now, the gist of the story is this. When Gemma suddenly becomes the caretaker of her orphaned 8-year-old niece, I was right, niece Cady, Gemma's unsure and unprepared to be a parent. Under intense pressure at work, Gemma decides to pair her M3GAN 3 prototype with Cady in an attempt to resolve both problems and a decision that will have unimaginable consequences. So, I mean, more or less, I guess, right? We open up with Cady and her parents in a car. Oh no, I think we have a creepy advert, right? There's this toy that is just creepy as fuck from a company called Funky, right? It is this weird Furby type thing. And it's just like the advert's like, oh, this kid's got a dog and they love each other, but the dog dies. What if you could have a pet that doesn't die? And then it's this furry thing that does not look like a pet at all. It looks creepy, right? It's like a modern day Tamagotchi. I think that's what they were called. Like those things that you grew from an egg and you would feed and all of them. It's basically an souped up version of that. That's what Gemma, Tess, and Cole work on. But their rivals have brought out a cheaper version. So the boss, David, is like, we need something. Now, they've been working on this Model 3 generative android, M3GAN. But at first, it doesn't work, right? Doesn't work. Right, so yes, then I think we jump to Cady with her parents, car crash. Now Gemma is the guardian. And like that's where the story kind of goes. And M3GAN doesn't work, but like Cady, after talking with Gemma and some other things, it leads to her working out, oh, this is how we could maybe get M3GAN up and running. Right, which is all fine. That's like, yeah, it's interesting, you know. I didn't think the film was scary, which is always a good thing. Didn't think it. There was some definitely creepy ass moments, right? Just the expressions on the doll, and when it looks like the doll's asleep, and then suddenly its eyes open, like things like that are just like, whew. And there's a bit where the doll is lying down. The way it stands up was like, yo, nah, nah, son, I ain't staying here. That's the thing. Because like, you get someone just standing there and what be like, no. As soon as it starts moving, I'm jetting. You feel me? But yeah, there were like people doing dumb things, right? That was one of the big things with this. Like, there's people do dumb shit. Like, it's some of the actions that kind of just were like, yo, what? Because Gemma isn't prepared for Cady, which completely understand, right? Who would be prepared for your sister dying, you know? But there's certain things where you think, yeah, obviously a kid would want toys and books and just things to occupy. Now, I can imagine you getting it wrong, right? Buying the wrong toys, be like, oh, I'm too old for these. Or, oh, mum and dad said I couldn't play with that stuff yet. Or, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But not to think of it did seem an odd one. Right? I think that seemed a little bit odd. Just the whole M3GAN thing, because there didn't seem any testing, right? They seem to be rushing it out, which I get, but just minimal testing. This is like, where was that? Like, what are we doing? And then there were some clear and present danger signs, right? There was some stuff that was going down. And you're like, wait, your programming is this. So wouldn't anything that happens that's like, it's not meant to do that. It's not meant to circumvent this. It's not meant to any of that. You're just like, okay, think we got a problem here. But no, nothing, right? Nothing. Which was just like, okay, this is weird. This is a little bit, You know what I mean? Because it's getting the story to a place where it all goes crazy, which is fine, but a little bit more logic, right? Now, don't get me wrong, this is a well put together film, and I think it made a gang load of cash, right? Off a small budget for Hollywood. Yeah, I think it cost 12 million to make, and it's, you know, more than quadrupled that. Yeah, I think it's like 10 times more money, if not more. It's been killing it. Like they commissioned a sequel, M3GAN 2.0, which is, I don't know how you do that, right? After everything that goes down in this, who the fuck is making another M3GAN, right? I mean, there is one way I could see it happening because we see something that someone does. So if it spun out of that, that would make sense, right? That would make sense. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't know. Like the end is fine, but I think you see the end coming, right? You kind of figure, and you wonder why wasn't that done earlier, right? You like, okay, I mean, surely wouldn't this be the approach, right? Some of the like, because the thing with M3GAN, it's got an open AI, so it's always learning, which is the big thing with AI right now, right? There's no things to curtail certain actions and whatnot, or what if it overcomes these things, you know? So it's got this learning algorithm because she wants it to basically says to help parents. Is kind of doing all the jobs a parent is meant to do, which a colleague brings up. But it's like, yeah, it's doing all of this stuff for Cady, which problem and creepy. You know what I mean? It is interesting. It is interesting. Um, I think we just see these huge leaps, just the way Caddy acts, like the whole M3GAN thing. There's certain things that I kind of feel that it might have had more room to breathe as a TV series, right? If you made it a 4-part, like it doesn't even have to be a long TV, like 3-part, 4, you know, and then you get more logical room for the development and certain things to go down, right? Because the film's an hour and a half, so it's not crazy long or anything like that, but it does mean like this developmental arc is super quick, and we get certain personality shifts that seem super quick, and flim-flamming all over the place. So that was the kind of thing with this. But I did think, yeah, I feel it was well put together, very good with the effects and all of that kind of jazz. I kind of feel if you liked Smile, right? If you're a fan of Smile, I think the M3GAN would work for you. That I think that's the best benchmark I think I could put out there. Because Smile again was this kind of low budget horror kind of film. But yeah, there was for me there was some plot things in that. But yeah, I guess as well, if you're a Chucky fan or Annabelle, you know, those films probably tie very well into M3GAN. But it's out in the world, it's all over the shop, people. So if, like me, you haven't seen it yet, hadn't, because technically, obviously, I've just seen it. But yeah, if you haven't, and you like Smile, you like Chucky, Annabelle, then M3GAN could very well be for you.